Let's go ahead and head on over to Metropolis in just a few seconds now.
What do you think about Metropolis, by the way?
Metropolis is really big, but one thing that I'm really confused about is the islands. Just because a lot of people haven't been utilizing the islands that much. It's kind of been a huge point of controversy with MLG removing the islands, and I'm really curious to see why Slavik necessarily chose this map, but it's at the same time it's understandable because it's a huge macro map. He wants an opportunity to really deal with everything. And Metropolis is very forgiving in terms of build orders. Yeah,
I would say so. One thing that empowers Protoss, though, is that Immortal build, where you get a really quick double Immortal. Let's jump into the game, by the way. Okay. You get a really quick 2 Immortals, and then you get the Warp Prism out, and you're able to actually do so much pressure, whether it be, you know, attacking the 3rd base, which Zergs normally like to get over here, or even just dropping down right here, Sentry force fielding off the ramp, and all of a sudden your main is dead. There's a lot of capabilities, I think, with Protoss to have this cute little finesse play. We'll see if Inca is going to exercise that here in game number 2.
Inca is the blue Protoss player, formerly of OGS in the bottom left, just as you said, and will most likely go for a huge economic opening with Nexus first or Forge first before expand. He's scouting the Orange Zerg in the top right corner, formerly from FXO, also called Happy Zerg once upon a time, who, according to Mr. Bitter, is the strongest man in the world. I remember back in the first couple weeks working at NASL, we had this thing called the ab roller, where we would try to do like as many repetitions while holding a plank.
Yes.
And we all wrote our record on the board, be like, you know, like Mr. Bitter got like 10, I got 15, Andre got like 20, Gretorp got 20. And then all of a sudden I saw this little scribble, because Mr. Bitter has terrible handwriting, saying, Happy Zerg, 100. I was like, what? And he said, yeah, Happy Zerg is the strongest man in the world. He will kick anyone's butt in a 1v1 arm wrestling tournament.
I don't doubt that. He's Ukrainian, bro.
Oh, Ukrainians are very strong indeed.
I've actually gotten the chance to sit down with White Rye and test out his muscle strength. It's an alarmingly scary strength. By the way, Cannon Rush.
Yeah, Cannon Rush. Oh, he's going to place a gateway as well. Yeah, that is, he's going to really prevent Slavik from being able to reach that pawn whatsoever. This is so creative. Oh my god, this is so Inca. Oh my god, trying to set up another Cannon Rush. He did this back in Metalopolis in the day and really try to show cool ways to Cannon Rush. And this is so annoying. And the fact that Slavik really doesn't have a way to deal with that cannon, but he deals with the probe. I mean, Inca doesn't really have another probe in position to really get vision on the high ground. That was very key. But that looked really cool for about 15 seconds.
Gigantic advantage, though, now going to Slavik, as he could probably actually just put down the hatchery right here, no problem, because the Spine Crawler is just going to kill everything. I would actually said you can actually cancel the Spine Crawler and just rely on your Queen sniping this out. But of course, he just wants to be super, super safe with this, and I don't hate that whatsoever. In the meantime, Slavik is going to try to get in here. You can see how delayed this Nexus is, and instantly we should see a double hatchery going down. It's a little bit late, but that's fine.
Yeah. It'll be fine. I mean, in the end, this does set Inca back a lot in terms of the resources he lost, but I mean, it looked cool for a second. It was like that play in soccer, you know, when you try to do like that fancy dribble and you end up like looking really cool for a second because you spin around the ball, but then you kick it and it goes completely over the goal or something. You look like a complete tool.
You do a bicycle kick.
Yeah, you try to like lob it up and do a bicycle kick, but you like kick yourself in the head. I don't even know how.
Yeah, I mean, Inca, I feel like obviously his money could have been better spent. From here, where is he going to go? Cybernetics core is being put down. Everything's really standard. Very fast 3rd gas, though. That's important to mention. So he's definitely looking to do some trickery. It could be, again, double Stargate play.
This fast of a 3rd gas is it's very interesting because the fact is he hasn't really gotten any units other than probes, and he's going for a very quick Stargate. This is insane. I mean, Inca doesn't even have a Zealot out. He doesn't have a Sentry. He's playing extremely greedy.
Not even Warp Gate is being upgraded, by the way.
Oh my goodness.
So he's doing double Warp Gate, or double Stargate, excuse me. He most certainly is doing double Stargate.
Yeah, there it is.
Also means that if an overload comes into the base, there's no way that he can actually get rid of it. It can stay in forever.
There's almost no opportunity for Inca to block anything. He's just pretty much crossing his fingers. But at the same time, I think even if Inca didn't had this scouted, I think he'd be able to transition. Because I mean, Protoss players, if they see their double Stargate scouted, they can just kind of transition to Phoenix, control the map, and really be able to play defensive. And Metropolis is one of those maps. Again, take that avenue from the destructible rocks / debris, and take that third while defending. 7
minutes hits, and Slavik is going to go ahead and scout out with both of his overlords. This is so key. I love what he's doing, and he will scout out these double Stargates. So he most likely should be able to defend this. I mean, when you see it this far in advance, you just throw down as many, you know, well, not as many, but throw down your evolution chamber, get spore crawlers up, and make sure you do not die.
And dying is what this overlord is going to do, but it's for a very noble cause indeed. Just getting double vision, or getting vision of that double Stargate is very key. Now, Inca is not going for double Void Ray at this point and getting 3. He's just popping 1 and then following up with more Phoenixes. But again, he doesn't really have any units out other than these air units. His warp gate is about halfway done. Inca hasn't even added on more gates, dedicating all of his resources possible to getting out his air units. Is Slavik prepared this time?
I would say no. He doesn't even have a spore crawler out. Yes, he has 3 queens all over the place, but obviously those 3 queens can be picked up very easily.
Yeah.
So for now, I would say that he's about to be ready for it. You can see spore crawlers popping up all over the place, but the first Void Ray is coming in here. The fact that there are no spore crawlers already up and no queens are in place make it very difficult for obviously Slavik to defend this.
Yeah, I mean, Slavik's going to lose his first spore crawler. The queens are trying to get in as well, but there's enough Phoenixes to lift all of the queens if he wanted to, and at this point, I guess he's just content with focusing them down. Inca, lift the queens!
Yeah, he does. I'm sorry.
From here my replay's out of sync. I'm sorry.
No problem. From here, I mean, the Void Ray does go down. A little bit of a mistake, I think, for Inca, but he can easily just supplement that yet again. So much damage. So much damage being done to Slavik in this position. So unfortunate. Inca, I felt, was so far behind because he got scattered out at the perfect moment. But now killing so many overlords. Look at this, 70 out of 38. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and I mean, even the Hydras that pop, there's enough Phoenixes to dive onto those Hydras.
Yep. And
just pretty much pick them off, keep them very low count. And
well, there
just
it
like
is.
that, he should be able to snipe these Hydralists and really keep Slavik again in the dark. And look at this, Inca's already preparing another transition just again, like in game number 1, where he just went for straight Colossus after this. And I mean, what can you really do as Slavik? We just said the effectiveness of Phoenixes on a huge map like this because of how much ground they can cover, and it's a little bit harder for Slavik to try to increase his map presence this early on, but the Phoenix count is absurd, and these queens are not going to be able to inject, which means that Slavik's economy is just going to be that much harder to get back up.
Yeah, and from this position, what do you actually do? Are you going to put down additional hatcheries? It's a very difficult call. Getting drop right now, ventral sacks being upgraded, I guess, to actually give mobility to the Hydras, because obviously drop Hydra play is pretty good. There is a small, tiny little window where you can actually do something if the Phoenixes aren't on the ball and able to actually see the Overlords coming, but I still feel like it's a risky play to actually do something like this.
And you can see that more Hydras are on the way, but I mean, they really can't do anything against Inca. In fact, he stopped making Hydras at this point. He just only made a few more. He has no real answer to it. Phoenixes can just take out the rest of the drones. Look at the drone count diminishing. And just like that, 13 workers have been killed in just a minute or so. Inca now has a very decisive lead. Thermal Lance is on the way, and there's really nothing that Slavik can do to really focus on that because he still has to protect his economy from these Phoenixes.
Oh, and he invested so much into these Hydras, now Infestation Pit on the way out. So if there is a Colossus timing, it's the largest one possible. You go Hydras and then Infestors. Colossus, I shouldn't say counter both, but deal with both of them most efficiently. And now we're in a situation where Inca, I mean, he has this Colossus push. I think if he pushes out with 3 of them with Thermal Lance, it's unwinnable, it's unlosable.
Yeah, and now Inca is going to establish his 3rd base, but again, I wouldn't be surprised for him just to sit back and turtle like he did in game number 1, where he said, even though I have this decisive timing, I'm just going to play it safe and have a huge army and make sure that you can't kill me. There's no way I want to lose this. So Inca's playing very safe right now, despite the fact that he took a couple of risks early on.
4th base being put up by Slavik. So he's just trying to be a little bit more greedy. Obviously, that's definitely a way to actually get back into the game. Just try to be economically greedy and then hope your opponent doesn't attack you. And from there, He's obviously able to deal with everything. Spire is going down. Roaches added into this composition. Now, don't get me wrong. Hydras are really good for DPS. The problem is that they're so brittle, and they die super, super fast to the Colossus.
And they're slow.
Yeah,
and
they're slow.
Their range isn't that great relative to the Colossus force fields and Stalkers.
Exactly. So you can...
they're very poor in their current state, Andre.
But DPS, they're awesome.
Yes.
They are absolutely awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Just everything else is terrible.
They kill really fast. I mean, in fact, Hydras do have certain places in ZVP, especially if you try to go for any kind of like early Nidus push against some kind of Forge fastest band. I mean, we've seen Zergs really try that if they're really tricky. But I mean, the fact is he can't ever catch these Phoenixes unless he has the Infestors really lock them down. But there's really no ability to do that whatsoever. You can see that Inca keeping the drone count and also keeping good scouting tabs on his opponent as well. I mean, these are all very, very key things that are going in favor of Inca. And the fact is that Inca is growing so strong, and when he pushes with that 1-1 and blink again, I mean, Slavik's not going to be ready.
Nope. That's exactly right. Oh, Infestor might be able to fungal this down. No, he didn't have energy. Excuse me. That's why. So just that when I clicked on it, it had 75 energy. Yeah. Unfortunate, because he could obviously picked off a lot of those Phoenixes. Just sticking them in their place, and then obviously the Hydras coming in, they just DPS everything down super, super fast. In this position, I mean, what does Slavik do from here, Frodan? What can he possibly, what kind of armory composition is he trying to get?
I mean, he has Corruptors and Infestors. He researched Ventral Stacks as well, but everything is kind of disorganized. He doesn't really have Roach Hydra and Corruptor. He doesn't necessarily have, you know, Infestors and Hive Tech really prepared, even though it's 16 minutes in the game. It's kind of all over the place. You can see him still just trying to set up his queens. He doesn't really have the ability to keep his injects non-stop. He doesn't really have great production cycles as well. And the biggest thing that's limiting him has been his gas count. He just really hasn't had anything. So I don't know what composition he really has to go here for him. I don't know. Like, some Zergs try to get up a spine crawler wall and really defend based off their positioning. But even then, it's really hard because he lost so many drones already.
Yeah.
He lost 31 workers to Phoenixes. Oh my goodness. I
mean, he's super far under. He's so underdeveloped. And oh my god, this blink on top of all the units, losing all the Infestors, that's basically going to just be the nail in the coffin. I don't see a foreseeable way for him to win this. As 16 supply of Roaches are actually being dropped at this point, so this army is extra, extra weak. Only Corruptors look to be owning everything. GG comes out from Slavik. We have ourselves a winner. Inca will take it. Yep. 2-0.
Inca takes it 2-0 in very clean, decisive Stargate fashion, almost as quick as a Phoenix. And just like that, I mean, it's kind of like a stylistic thing as well, because if you know that's coming, there's so many ways to prepare for it. And a lot of Protosses, that's what they complained about. If you don't do anything, you're very far behind, you invest so much. But, I mean, that's kind of, I guess, Inca's advantage. He's been off the map. A lot of players in Korea, when they have such profile, everyone knows their tendencies. For example, Genius always goes Stargate PvZ. A lot of people know to prepare for him. But not necessarily against Inca, goes double Stargate even before Warp Gate. So this is very important lesson for Happy Zerg, but even more important for everyone watching as they get ready to play Inca in the upcoming rounds.
Exactly. I mean, for those of you at home that are wondering how do you actually counter this style, just splurge and Spore Crawlers, knowing that you have 3 base forever over your opponent. And then you can actually go Zergling Infestor from there. Zergling Infestor, obviously,
that's a good idea.
The Zerglings to deny the 3rd base, because always Protoss are going to try to sneak that 3rd base a little bit premature. Get those Zerglings on the map, and then you have your Infestors and Spore Crawlers and Queens to deal with everything else. And from there, you're able to just be ahead. You know?
Well, Dr. Gretorp dropping the knowledge, and we'll be back with more action from the NASL Season 4 qualifiers. We're going to hit the round of 128 after this, so don't go anywhere. More action is coming up just a couple minutes.